Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I'm actually in Venice, California. Usually you see me in Maui, but a red eye brought me here, and we are getting ready for a very exciting evening tonight. Next week, I will be in South Carolina. So just traveling around the globe. Soon enough, I'll be catching up with Mynoo in India. So we'll see how that goes. Mynoo is broadcasting live from Mumbai. And yes, thank you guys for joining tonight. It's always a delight. We are always pleased to have everyone join us, and we are going to get started in just a couple of moments. So settle in. This is an hour. This is an hour with Mynoo Maryel, and she is the mentor and guide to the miracles in my life, and she can be for years as well. So tonight is a very special surprise. We'll be going over this in just a couple minutes. We are going to be delving into something quite special. It's one of the 10 Commandments, very different than you may think. So when you think about the 10 Commandments, tonight we're going to be doing the first of the 10 Commandments. And Mynoo will be gracing us with those. I don't even want to give it away, but you will certainly appreciate her unique perspective. She will surprise and delight, as she always does. And please try to attend all 10 if you can. So tonight is the first. So if you found yourself here, you're in a great spot. And yes, we're going to have everyone else join us, but you'll get some profound and inspirational tips as well as practical tools so that you can use these in your tool belt for the rest of your life. So it's always a delight. It's the unknown is the known tonight. So that's what we're going to be delving into. So we also are broadcasting on Zoom. So we're going to merge these two together and bring Facebook Live and Zoom together. And from there, we are going to get Mynoo started with something quite magical. So I'm going to go ahead and let in some of our participants in our Zoom, on our Zoom side. And so guys, thank you so much for joining. And I just want to repeat what I repeated earlier for those of you who are just joining. Hi, Vince. Hi, Asha. Now, those of you on Facebook, I can't see you. You have two ways to join us, either Facebook Live or you can get on the Zoom. So the Facebook Live, the good news is we have a repeat that happens over and over again, like any Facebook Live. So anyone who's on Zoom that wants to watch this again, we made it. The technology gods were with us tonight. So yay, lo and behold, we made it. We're on Facebook Live and Zoom. So it's wonderful. I want to welcome everyone tonight. Thank you guys for joining. Always a delight. Hi, Lola. Hi, Vince. And we're going to get started with Mynoo in just a couple minutes. We're going to allow a few more minutes for people to join. We brought you guys on just a little bit early. You know, tonight is a really special night. Not only is it the beginning, new beginnings are always fun. And this is a new series that Mynoo is launching for us. Now, she went over the broad overview last week, but tonight we're going to hunker down into the first of the 10 Commandments. And that is always so fun because you feel like, yes, you know, when you're in elementary school or any age, when you get to start something new and you get out your fresh notebook, that's what I suggest you do. Take down these notes. I know that Vince has them attached to his refrigerator. The 10 Commandments are amazing, and you want to remember these because these are going to be tools in your tool belt that you can use forever. And tonight, the unknown is the known. That's the first commandment. So yes, thank you guys for joining. And we're going to give it just a few more minutes. I'm going to just see, Mynoo, I don't know if we can go side by side. I don't think we can in this platform. Oh. But I think everyone should get to say hello to Mynoo. I'm going to just try something.
I've got a gallery view. I've got a gallery view, so.
Great.
Say hello.
All right. So, hi, everyone. So Vince and I traded places. You'll recognize where he is where I was broadcasting from, and where I am is where he was. So we just flip-flopped. We actually passed in the airport, handed the keys off. And yes, if you see the little dogs running around the background, I'm now the dog keeper, and he's now the surfing king. So thank you guys for joining. And yes, we are so excited that we are going to get to hear from Mynoo tonight. Any little insights before we get started, Mynoo, that you want to tell us about?
The main thing I want to share is that we just went through a vantage point. And those of you who've been listening to me since last year, I've been talking about 2020 as a year it's a very powerful year, which we are all experiencing now. And it had a series of vantage point dates, which were opportunities for us to be catapulted onto a new vantage point. But the energies of 2020 are so strong that they can catapult you up, and they can pull you down. And everything that enables that to occur is driven by what is it that you are vibrating. So if you are able to manage your vibrations and have a very clear intention for your life, the catapulting effect is very powerful. And these vantage point dates came in for us to create a stake in the ground for those vantage point dates. So the 21st of September was one of those vantage point dates, which we just passed. And we have the next one coming up on the 15th of December. So you have between now and the 15th of December, with the 100x multiplier of the 2020 energies, to just really declare what is it that you intend for your life. And then all you have to do is to manage your vibrations, and you'll get there. Overthinking it will have a 100x multiplier on having you think even more. So you will be in the loop of overthinking. The idea here is to take a step forward, to keep moving forward, So that's what I want to share. Oh, Catherine, you're muted.
There we go. Well, I muted myself because there's lots of planes flying around here in Venice, so bear with me. Hopefully they will be ending their flight pattern soon. We have planes and barking dogs. Mynoo and I were just talking about this. When you learn how to meditate, if you want to be really successful, they tell you to meditate in New York City so that you can deal with all the noise and the different things that are around you, because that's life. Let's face it, there's a lot of noise around us every day. So we have to find a way to sometimes put our blinders on and just allow that to be and carry on. So if you hear me from time to time, I'm going to let Mynoo take most of tonight. We aren't going to be answering or asking any questions tonight, but we will be back with that next week. And I just want to welcome everyone. And I just want to say one thing before we get started, because this is so incredible and it just makes my heart sing. I have a dear client. Her name is Kathy. And so many of you who are in the morning meditations, you reached out to her, and she's having a little procedure, and she accidentally sent a message to actually the group instead of Mynoo. And the love was overwhelming. This beautiful woman has never had that kind of appreciation, gratitude, generosity of spirit in her life. And so this morning when I was working with her, teaching her, she just wanted me to again remind everyone how much that meant. And that is the beauty of this community that Mynoo has created. I mean, we're all connected in such an amazing way. It just runs so deep. And yeah, it's incredible because not everyone has an opportunity to experience that. And here we are, this amazing soul family, and we're connected on so many levels. So much appreciation from her. She's exactly now going in for her biopsy. And I just wanted to tell you guys how much your words meant to her. And that's what happens every day. We never know how that little tiny thing can change a person's life. And those of you who reached out to her, you changed her life today. So without further ado, for those of you who are new, I'm Catherine Hollis-Peters. I'm your host every Thursday evening, and I'm so excited to be able to bring on Mynoo Maryel. Mynoo has been a dear friend, a mentor, and a guide. She's certainly the person who stands for the miracles in my life, as she does for many, many who are on this call, and she is going to do that for you as well. So tonight we're so excited because tonight is the first commandment. So we're getting started. It's about new beginnings. I'm going to turn it over to Mynoo, and we will take it from there. So welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining, and look forward to going on this journey with you tonight.
Thank you, Catherine. And yes, indeed, welcome, everyone. Deep gratitude for all of us being here, and lots of appreciation and gratitude for the amazing messages that I received from so many of you for my first birthday, which was the big zero birthday. So thank you. It was a powerful completion. And I would say this session that we are doing here, I was guided to go on a journey of 3 days. And I expected it to be one long journey. I was very excited about it, expected that I was going to do some wonderful travels and have lots and lots of amazing, nourishing new wisdom and new insights. I absolutely had new wisdom, I had new insights. And the journey wasn't journey into other dimensions or astral travel. It really was like a past life regression, except it was a regression into this life. All the key elements that had ever occurred in this life. And it was a 3-day journey. And what I saw from that is going to play a key part in this particular commandment, where unknown is the known. The 10 commandments, I gave you an overview of those when we had the session the last time around. It's available on Facebook Live, as well as it's available on YouTube. Today's session is a deep dive on the first commandment, which is unknown is the known. And it's one thing to hear it, unknown is the known. The other thing is to, yeah, I guess, you know. But then what do you do with it? What do you do with that wisdom? So what now? So what? I mean, this is maybe my corporate training, which always asks the question. And it's interesting, my spirit guides are getting used to the idea of receiving this question of so what from me. And it's wonderful because it gives me the answers which I'm able to share, and it becomes very practical. What can be done about it? And we can, you know, really allow ourselves to be at this super high vibe place with this wisdom that's coming in, and we can get very practical in implementing it. Because really the key transformation whilst we are in this human form occurs through implementation. So what came about in my journeys, the 3 days on either side of my birthday and my first birthday itself, is something that contributes to what we can practically do about this commandment of unknown is the known. First of all, let's look at what am I talking about here. So if everything that existed in the world was like a big pie, you know, and there'll be a sliver of that pie that we know. And there's another sliver of that pie that we know we don't know. There is often a really big chunk of it, of the pie, which we don't know. And we spend a lot of the time, in fact, vast majority of our time is spent in, you know, in this realm of what we know. And some of it is spent in learning some new things that we know we didn't know before, and we want to know it, and we go learn it. Well, one of the commandments, and these are 10 commandments for the new world. And what there are 10 commandments, very different to the Moses commandments, which are all about how you conduct yourself in life. These commandments are about what is the foundation on which you are going to show up and live your life. So there is a trust that is already communicated by just the way that these commandments are structured, that you, with whatever has occurred, including this whole crown phenomenon that we are going through, you've landed. And whether you're aware of it or not, you know, there's a big part of you that has reawakened to, that you count, and that you can, you know, figure things out yourself. What's important is to know what is the foundation on which your life is going to play out. What's also become important, and this is another gift from the crown phenomenon, which is that every moment counts. So given that, you know, so much could have happened, like so much has actually changed, and lives have have ended and stuff. So anything is possible. We may as well just live our passion right here, right now, and not have anything that holds us back or that stops us. So unknown is the known is a foundation for how, or for the new world. So how do we work with that? So this is the key thing to remember. The foundation is what you don't know, you don't know. And that is the norm. That's what you're dealing with here. So really, when we are in this space where unknown is the known, how do we get ourselves into a space of centeredness so that we don't get completely thrown out, given how much of what we have engaged with up to now has been to feel more certain. And certainty is being linked to, that we know what to expect. We know what's coming. So the first thing is to really, really know that. So all of these sessions are all about very practical insights and practical steps that you can take. So here's the first step that you can take to support you in working with this first commandment, unknown is the known. And the first step is an unconditional acceptance that so it is. Now, it's easier said than done. How do you achieve that unconditional acceptance? I'm not talking about acceptance. I'm talking about unconditional acceptance. So how do you achieve that? You achieve that by really engaging with what you feel like when you hear unknown is the known. That is the foundation. What do you feel like? How does your body react? Is it yummy? Is it yucky? Are you getting anxious? Like really take stock of the lay of the land that occurs for you when you just hear this. In this realm, where the first of the 10 elements that make up the foundation of the new world is unknown is the known. The lay of the land, every time I use the phrase lay of the land, it is the lay of the land within you I'm talking about. Because you're the one that is going to be living your life. You're the one that is going to bring aliveness. So the first step to achieve unconditional acceptance of what is, it is to really step into, how do I feel about this? What am I present to? Like really feel the physical feelings, feel the mental experiences that you might have, emotions that might be rising, how connected to your own spirit you are. What are you noticing when you hear unknown is the known in the context of your social circle? Is there an anxiety that builds up? Or is there an excitement of going on a new adventure that occurs? Anxiety about separation, anxiety about how long is this going to last? Is it going to last? Or a sense of that newfound romance, where you look forward to surprises and look forward to surprises that will surprise you. Just get that lay of the land. Go even out into your environment. Is there some anxiousness around the home that you live in? If this unknown is the known, what's going to happen to the financial structures? Are hospitals going to, is the medical system going to change? Whatever it may be to do with the environment, really acknowledge everything that you are present to, everything that you are feeling, all the thoughts that are arising as a result of you simply engaging with this statement. If unknown is the known is the foundation, what does that do to me? How am I with it? Once you have acknowledged all of that, give yourself a few minutes to just be with it. And when you do the Beyond meditation, I ask you to do the 9-4-6 breaths. Breathe into the count of 9, hold to the count of 4, breathe out to the count of 6. So take a few moments to engage in the 9-4-6 breath. And you could just do 5 of these or do 10 of these. Do 3 of these. Do it once you've acknowledged the lay of the land. You now know what's going on. You then go into the 9-4-6 breath. And once you've done that, you breathe in love, kindness, and compassion into your heart. Breathe out gratitude and peace. Breathe in love, kindness, and compassion into your heart. You breathe out gratitude and peace. Do that 2 or 3 times. And now you are ready to make a conscious choice. And you make a conscious choice to unconditionally accept what is. That is the first step. Unconditionally accept what is. And there is a process. Now, in this process, here's what has occurred. When unknown is the known, it is important to feel internally connected and confident that you are and you are able to have at least some things that are known that can be held in place. So the first step takes you into the second step. So it literally opens the door and you land in the second step. The second step is dignity. You by acknowledging the lay of the land, as opposed to shoving it under the carpet, what you've done is you have placed yourself as the dignitarian. And what is dignity? Dignity is honoring of your own worthiness. And we are born with dignity. So the second step is a recognition of your own worthiness. We often find ourselves and we find others complaining about how they are, someone took their dignity away, someone's not treating them with dignity. It's so external, our own ability to have the dignity experience. It begins with you. You honor your own worthiness. When you choose to ignore it, is what gives permission to others to ignore that in you. And you also give yourself permission to ignore the dignity of others, including other living beings and the planet itself, which is what had occurred up to this point in time. So the second step is acknowledging that you have reconnected to one of the 3 things that you were born with. Remember, when unknown is the known, you are tapping in to your inner resilience repertoire. And one of those is what you were born with. 3 of those really are what you're born with. So dignity is one of those. In step number 2, to really anchor dignity, you look at what is it that others are saying that is noteworthy about me. And however down and upset you may be, you will always find 1 or 2 things that you may have heard some point in the past in your life that others are saying, which is noteworthy about you. You also look at What is it that I recognize and accept and acknowledge that I believe is worthy about me? And once you have really laid that out, allow yourself to receive the acknowledgement of others and allow yourself to own that which you have recognized in yourself. And what that has done is it has reawakened you to the dignity of you. And literally, in doing so, you step into the center of one of the three gifts that you're born with. That is a known. As long as you have this human life, you have dignity. And it's just a matter of you remembering it. And this conscious and conscientious exercise enables you to do that. Whilst you're still on step 2, what is also worth looking at is how what triggers or what actions you take that actually depletes you of your own worthiness. And it could be an action that you might take towards others, being spiteful, being judgmental of yourself or of others. "90% of a problem is solved once you're able to identify it precisely. Now, once you get that this is what you do, and it doesn't really feel good, it actually, when you are in dignity, when you're honoring your own worthiness, that is the yumminess flow. Like there is nothing that interferes. You are in an ongoing regenerative yumminess. And when you have stop, start, you do have ways in which you are interrupting and interfering in the honoring of your own worthiness. And doing so, you may be doing it through others by ripping them of their worthiness, by being judgmental. Once you declare all of that those are your tactics, or certain practices, knowingly or unknowingly, by seeing it, acknowledging it, you can then go into the next question to complete this step, which is, what is missing and essential that I can put in place so I can interrupt that pattern when it arises and get back to honoring my own worthiness. And from that space, honoring that in others, other living beings, and the planet itself. The key thing to remember with this commandment of unknown is the known, everything, literally the world begins with you and ends with you. Your world begins with you and ends with you. So let's look at step number 3. Unknown is the known. What can you practically do? How do you work with this thing? So this one is, what we have done now is you've taken the lay of the land and you've arrived at unconditional acceptance of what is. You've then gone into honoring your own worthiness, and therefore you have reclaimed one of the 3 things that you were born with, which is dignity. The third one is owning another element that you are born with. And you're born with choice. This is a planet of free choice. Humans were brought into this planet as a playground to have a bit of respite and playing in the field of relationships and relating, and coming from a freedom of choice. So you chose. And we've played it out and we've arrived at where we've arrived at. And now it's time to recalibrate, which is great. That rebirthing has taken place, the earth has chosen to transform itself, and all of that is good news. So in the realm of the commandment of unknown is the known, the third step is to consciously express and exercise our choice. Now, the bottom line is, choice is one of those, the moment we are born, and remember, in my world, and it's not just my world, it is, that's what I believe, that, the birthday is the day that you are conceived. That is when you arrive into this human form. And then when you take birth, that is your first birthday. So from the time that you are born, all the way until now, this choice is like an engine. It's like a heartbeat equivalent. The moment you stop, your heartbeat stops, and there's a change of state from life to death is when choice stops. You are birthed with choice, and it is constantly active, just like the heart is. You are living, breathing choice implementers. And so much of that is done in an unconscious way. So in this third step of unknown is the known, all that is required here is a declaration and a request to your higher self, a declaration to yourself that you're going to become conscious about the choices that you make, and a request of your higher self to literally open up all the various choices that you have made for your life. And some aspects of it may be a Pandora's box that you open up. We know what gets revealed is not something that's palatable. But nonetheless, it is. And there is more than enough that exists. That is not what you don't want to happen. And the bottom line is, since choice is always happening, it is present, continuous, occurring all the time. And here's the thing, the choice, just like the heart, is plugged into the now. You choose now, you choose now, you choose now, you choose now, you choose now. Even if you choose to ignore the now. So with dignity, you are remembering dignity. With choice, you are consciously reclaiming your choice. And there is a very powerful B word. And I wrote a book called The B Book. If you don't have it, go ahead on Amazon and order it. It's available as an audiobook as well as a physical book. And one of the B words, which actually was the one that really hit me in between my eyebrows and woke me up to this whole B lifestyle. And it is the word that you embody and embrace in this third step. And it is called because. And because is actually a sentence. It is because, period. And the bottom line is, we are being cause in our matter. We may choose not to acknowledge it. So once you reclaim your choice, you step into being the cause in your matter. And because, which instead of being because, became a justification intersection of why something can't or can be done. So step number 2 really gets you back into because. And you're reclaiming your choice. Knowing that whether now you can choose not to reclaim it and know that you have just chosen that. You can choose to ignore it and know that you have still chosen that. Step number 4 in this realm of unknown is the known. So here's what we've done so far. You've learned how to do unconditional acceptance of all that this statement of unknown is the known as a foundation for the next phase of your life churns up within you. So the churning has eased. You're in your center. You've then gone into reclaiming your dignity, which is something you're born with, your own worthiness. And then you've gone into reclaiming your choice, knowing that choice is happening just like the heart. It's a movement thing. It's happening moment by moment. Step number 4 is like an exquisite blossoming that becomes available to you. And step number 4 is the blossoming of the now. So choice, like I said, just like your heart, it's plugged into the now. So now you are in the space where your heart is beating, it's in the now. You're becoming conscious about the choices you're making moment by moment by moment, further accentuating your presence in the now. And what else exists in the now? What exists in the now is miracles. So miracles, in the way we've developed this idea of miracles, it seems to be something which is so in the realm of the unknown. I'm saying to you, miracles is an access point for you to really thrive in a foundation of unknown is the known. Because miracles exist in the now, not somewhere one day out there in the future. And yes, they are surprising. And yes, they surprise you. And it's a surprise that keeps multiplying. And all it calls for is for you to notice what those miracles are. So in the now, when your heart is beating, it is the song of the heart. You are choosing and you are present to that moment by moment. You're in action. You're in active, engaged action. And now you focus your attention on what is a miracle. A miracle is where something beautiful occurs that makes your heart sing. And given that your heart is singing, it is the song of the heart. What is the miracle there right now? And you can start choosing to access that. Really what I want to do, want you to develop is this miracle muscle tone. And this miracle muscle tone, initially you will do it by having a focus on it. And after a while, it just becomes so. It's like, your subconscious just automatically starts to gather miracles. And the universe is plugged into you at all levels. And it starts to show you even more. So anytime you want, literally at a click of a finger, drop of a hat, whatever you say, you can just say, okay, miracle zone time. And there you are. The miracle muscle is toned. So this step is about developing that miracle tone. Step number 5. So you're getting a sense, the way this is going is, we are bringing and presencing every element that is known. And we are anchoring ourselves in that. developing this, it is known that whatever is occurring, you can absolutely take a lay of the land of what's going on in your world. And it is your choice to unconditionally accept what is. That is known. You can do that regardless of what is going on. You know that you're the one that possesses this worthiness. You're the one that houses this dignity within you, so you can acknowledge that. You know that choice is occurring anyway, regardless of whether things are unknown or known or whatever, it doesn't matter. So you're starting to really get into, okay, choice is also something that I have access to all the time. And now you've also connected to your miracle lens, you know, your miracle tone. And it is a miracle muscle tone, which again, it's up to you. You have it. And it's you who's going to exercise that miracle muscle for you. Nobody else is going to do it. You're going to do it. It's yours. And it doesn't matter whatever is going on around you, unknown, known, doesn't matter. You have access to that. So we are bringing in many known factors. By this time, your body is already feeling, okay, I can come to my center. Step number 5. Step number 5 is becoming very conscious about what is known. What is known in a full spectrum way? What is known to you in terms of your physical being, which includes your physical body and how you operate from that? What is known about your mental state and your triggers and, you know, uplifters and all of that? What is known about your emotions? You know, certain emotional responses and reactions that you have, which emotions uplift you, which bring you down. And really what you're doing here is just getting your mind. Remember, in my world, it's very important to take the mind with you. And when you take the mind with you, you anchor it in the now, so it's plugged into the heart. It isn't just oscillating between past and future, but that's really what gets us out of sorts when we are dealing with a statement like unknown is the known. So your mind is very engaged and it is consciously acknowledging all these different pieces that are known. What is known about your connection to spirit, the spirit of you, the spiritedness of you, your connection to spirituality, you know, whatever it might be, practices. And when I say what's known, look at feelings, look at what you're seeing, look at practices that you have done, you have been doing. What is known about your social environment, social dynamics? And, you know, even acknowledging the good, the bad, the ugly, and the beautiful, your mind is getting to a state where it's acknowledging all of that. And it starts to really connect with what is known. What is known about the environment itself. Your home where you live, your work environment, whether it is online or offline, the environment outside. Acknowledging all that is known, again, anchors you now. Now we are getting anchored. Now we are getting anchored in certainty. Step number 6 is finding our own center of gravity. At this point, you have established, so many things that are known. So this particular step is about physical. It's a physical step. And that is, it could be a physical movement that you create for yourself. It could be a regime like Pilates or yoga that allows you to stand in your center. In my case, for myself, this step is that connecting the golden cords to the core of the earth. Connecting the middle of my feet to the core of the earth, connecting the tips of my fingers to the core of the earth, and literally making that move of standing up. And I stand up and I take a stride, I take a step forward. And it's as if I'm crossing a threshold. And I just stand there as if I'm just in complete stillness. So I've created that for myself. And you will create whatever it is for you. This step is about a move that acknowledges a physical presence of your body, where your body has recalibrated and is connected to your center of gravity. There is stability, there is balance, there is harmony in it. And you're using a physical movement at this point. Do not do the physical movement before any of these steps. It will not be as centering as it will be at this point. And for some, the physical move could be the act of going for a run. But it's a physical thing, very physical. You actually feel it in your body. The 7th step is all about leveraging the opportunities that open up when you get to a point of center and feel centered, standing on this foundation where unknown is the known, instead of being flaky and flimsy and not quite knowing, how far the rabbit hole goes. It becomes a foundation that is like an energetic foundation that holds you standing tall. And if you need to dive deep, you can go, okay, I turn on those propellers or reverse propellers, and you can go do a deep dive. It's time to surf a wave, and fine, you can turn that aspect of your machinery on. It's as if you're just like held in this energetic bowl or a platform that can go in any direction that you wish to. So this step is all about the leverage. What are the levers you get connected to? What are the levers you have access to? And when you get connected to the levers that you have access to, what's the lever that you pull to do a deep dive? What's the lever that you pull to do a catapult up? What's the lever that you adjust to go on a surf where you're surfing a wave? And those levers will be, you will define what they are for you. And by this point in time, if you're following the step and are doing them diligently, you will be into a space of automatic writing, where the information that will be coming through to you will be coming from your inner wisdom, which is communicated through your third eye, but actually held in your gut. And you will be presencing it in the now through the heart, so it is it's decluttered, not clouded by any meaning. So when you say, well, what are the levers that I have access to? So for me, for example, I know that if I want to get creative and allow for spirit to show me the expansiveness of the vision that is to be realized through what I am to do next in my life, I create a banquet. And before, it would be a banquet in the sense I would invite friends. These banquets were always happening wherever I was. And now, we've been in a lockdown. So me and my friends are all within me. So I create a banquet for myself. And, okay, it's done in a miniature way, but sure enough, I'm not going to eat so much food. So I become very creative with different elixirs that I've been experimenting and creating. And that is one of my levers that connects me to that expansiveness, and I can have infinite expansiveness. Now, when I want to do a deep dive, the lever for me when I want to do a deep dive into anything, like I do before we have these sessions, I go into a deep dive of each of the commandment before I expand out. So there I go into a state of stillness. Stillness does not require me to sit in one place. I can be walking. I can be sitting down, yes. And I just allow myself to be. I allow thoughts to come in and out. This is not a meditation. This is just simply being still. And whatever is occurring, I allow the various sensations to come in and out. No judgment. I'm in a state of stillness. Stillness immediately creates a new lever, which is the state of allowing. And then voila, I can dive as deep as I want into any subject, into any topic. And first, I am to dive deep. So even sharing the 10 commandments, now we're doing a deep dive. It is important to dive deep. And then I go into so what, which calls me to get out of the deep dive and expand. And now I don't even need to use the lever of creating a banquet, but I do it because I love doing it. So you will find what they are for you. Now, the first piece is when it comes to leverage, it's first of all understanding what are your levers. The second is, and remember, one of the access points to your levers is allowing. Allow for these levers to show up. They will surprise you. You'll be surprised at what actually does show up as your levers. Now, once you've identified your levers, then it's like, okay, what are the points of leverage that I do have? And I look at life. And remember, the only purpose to life is to come alive. So I always look for what are the points of leverage in life. And points of leverage in life are all about coming alive. I look at relationships. And I look at, in my case, I look at business. And the business may be something else for you. It could be social impact. It could be career. It could be professional standing, whatever it may be. We will do a session, Catherine, at one point just on business, because it's a very specific way in which I understand business, which most people don't look at it like that. So when I look at what are the points of leverage in these three areas, I have my levers, I have the points of leverage, and now I know that I have the choice. Anytime I wish to exercise any of those levers, I can. So these 7 steps put you in a state where you are now on a very solid, stable, and yet malleable foundation of unknown is the known. And remember, because it isn't solid ground, you automatically are operating consistent with the other 9 commandments that remain. Because you're not on solid ground, you can't take anything for granted. For example, so it's very structured, it's step by step. So as we do this series, you have the next 7 days. It will not take you that much time. You will not be spending all day, on implementing each of the steps. You can literally create a short segment of time and take on each step for you. And then move on to the next one, and then move on to the next one, ready and prepared for the next commandment, which will be addressed next week. So having said all of that, what I would like to do now is to take you on a journey. Take you on a journey where you get a chance to feel what it feels like. Standing, sitting, moving on this foundation of unknown is the known. So you can put your pens and papers down and allow yourself to go on this journey. This journey is not about taking notes. It's a journey that activates a remembrance of unknown is the known as a foundation. Something that we were very aware of when we actually chose to take birth. Because we were in an environment which is wonderful in the womb. And then when we come out, first breath day, unknown is the known, is there, active. So we have a remembrance of however tumultuous that journey was to take the first breath. When the first breath actually occurred, we landed. And that foundation of unknown is the known was there. We were held. And then we got very attached to it and made it solid ground. And that's we know what has turned out as a result of that. And now what I'm doing is bringing that remembrance back so that you develop a sense of comfort within you, knowing that you've been there before. And it turned out to be magical and miraculous, where your heart just kept beating, kept singing, and miracles abound, miracles aground, and miracles manifest was occurring all around you. You may not have called it that, but that was occurring. So this is the journey of activating that remembrance and enabling you to operate from that ongoingly. So it's going to be very short, sharp, very quick, turning that switch on, remembrance. So just get yourself to be comfortable. Your eyes can be closed at this point. Allow yourselves to receive my communication. Give permission to yourselves to release anything at all that is no longer in service of your highest good, anything at all that you might be holding on to with just in case, in quotes, that no longer serves you. Allow yourselves to release all of that, because we're going to bring that remembrance back into the cells, that anything and everything that the cell requires at any point in time, it has access to. And that your physical being, combined with your energetic presence and your higher self, knows when to tap into that fabulous repository of your inner wisdom that is never damaged, diminished, or destroyed. So with that knowing, invite you to step into trust and anchor yourself. Initially, you're anchoring yourself with a golden cord connecting the base of your spine to the core of the earth. The middle of your feet are connected to the core of the earth. The tips of your fingers are connected to the core of the earth. And they're all operating like a vacuum suction pump, releasing all of the stuff that you have given permission to your cells to release. You can go to the top of your crown and just work your way down in concentric circles, all the way down to the base of your feet. And by the time you get to that, you know you're anchored, you're clear, you're present. We'll do the alignment breath 3 times. Breathe in, 9, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just remain in regular breaths, focusing your attention into your heart, breathing in love, kindness, and compassion, and breathe out gratitude and peace. There you are, clear, aligned, present in gratitude and peace. I'm taking your attention to that region in between your solar plexus and your sacral chakra, which is your navel area. And in that region is the remembrance of stepping into unknown is the known. And as you're taking your breath in, now take your breath all the way down to that area. Breathe in, love, kindness, and compassion. Breathe out, gratitude and peace. And as you are continuing this breathing in of love, kindness, and compassion, and you're breathing out gratitude and peace, that region is shedding layers and layers and layers of stuff that we put on our own remembrance of unknown is the known. These are protection layers. Protection layers, which sometimes show up in the form of visceral fat. All of those are literally being released and shed released and shed, released and shed. And as that finally gets to a point where you start seeing a light, a sliver of light. And it's a beautiful silver light that is shining from the inside. And it's held like in a marble. And there's this marble-like energetic concentration which is shining this light. And as you've released and shed what you were holding on to, there is more space for this light to shine. And as this light is shining, it is starting to overlay, first of all, and then it is starting to fill up any area of darkness that could be memories, that could be preconceptions of what being in the unknown feels like. So any lower frequencies associated with that are literally being illuminated, and those lower frequencies are being illuminated so that the darkness is being released. And in the release of this darkness, it's as if tracks of light have been created for the darkness to travel out of your body, out of your orbit and your field, and in fact, even out of the orbit of the planet. Each one of us that shows up in these sessions, we are receiving hot off the press, the divine press, this wisdom of the new commandments. We are holographically translating as well as transporting this wisdom to all the nodes of connections we have ever made on the planet. It's a holographic remembrance that is starting to occur. Experience this light that is spreading out through you now. And notice the buoyancy that you have as you stand on your own foundation of the known that is in the realm of the unknown. And you comfortably glide forward. Stand tall. Take big long strides into the unknown, out of the known, into the known, from the unknown, and everything becomes one big harmonious presence of your world that is filled with the illumination of you and your presence. You feel comforted, you feel comfortable, you feel stationed in certainty and stationed in whole and completeness. Take your hands in front of your heart, rub them against each other, put them over your eyes, open your eyes in them, take them on top of your head, the back of your head, either side of your neck, and do an energy sweep. Welcome to your new foundation. With that, the content I wanted to share is complete. I pass it on to you, Catherine, to invite the words that people wish to share that will be our stake in the ground of the vibrations that become available and possible for anyone that chooses to take on and dive deep into each of the commandments, structuring their life coming from this space. Over to you, Catherine.
Welcome. Welcome back, everyone. Holy cow. You know, first I was writing so many notes as you were going through those incredible steps, Mynoo, and then to be able to go through that extraordinary process and just let go. I don't know about the rest of you, but that really, it hit home exactly what I needed. Thank you so much, Mynoo, and thank you all for joining. And wow, we are so inspired every time, Mynoo, by what you offer. You know, thank you. And happy birthday. I think this calls for a celebration for anyone who didn't get a chance to wish Mynoo her happy birthday wishes. On Monday, I believe, was the official
25th.
first birthday. Yeah, Monday is a relative, depending on where you are. But I just want to, again, invite you all to share. Sorry about the little planes in the background, but please share your words in the chat, your appreciation, your gratitude for Mynoo, as always, and for yourselves. It's just such an extraordinary evening every time. And let me just read these words off to you. Absolutely beautiful, illuminated, grounded, magnificent, awesome. I love that word. First roots and foundation. Yes. Exquisite. Wow. Grounded. I'm so ready. I'm so ready too. Happy birthday. Thank you for the incredible words and for the wisdom. Wonderful material, Mynoo. Really wonderful. And you know, I'm not sure if I'm ready for bed or if I'm inspired to write. I'm trying to decide which one because this was like another wake up. The fact that I love the way that, you know, you've integrated us into our whole self, that aspect of really embracing the known and the unknown. Wow, thank you so much, Mynoo, and thank you all. Shiny, love that. Shine, shine, and shiny. That's exactly right. Wisdom that is time tested. Yes, birth anew. Awesome. Again, illuminated, grounded. We have so many beautiful words here. Thank you guys. You know, Mynoo just nailed it too, right on time. I was wondering how she was going to get through this step with so many sub-steps underneath it and take us on a process. And boy, did she. Centered. Happy first birthday, Mynoo. New. Love that. Yes. Thank you so much, everyone. We'll be going on our second step next week. There will be 10 of these. So come with your pad ready. Next week, we're going to be answering questions. So if you have anything that you would like us to address, if you'd like for Mynoo to address it, shoot me an email. Just put subject Mynoo. I'll put my email in the chat for you, or you can text it to me and I'll put my number in there. So again, so blessed to be with all of you wonderful, beautiful souls that Mynoo has just put us all together in this amazing evening. And thank you, Mynoo, as always.
You're welcome.
All right. So I'm going to turn it back over to Mynoo while I put these numbers in the chat. In the event you want to reach us, you may do so.
I think, Catherine, if you can also just put your email in the chat, that would be great. I'm just guided to say that we just completed a journey into miracles, and we've now decided that the next one is going to be in January. So if you are curious about it and want to know more, we are taking applications for the journey into miracles. So please get in, message Catherine, email her, whatever feels right to you, and then we will reach out to you with an application request. Thank you so much. Thank you. It's always difficult to close these meetings, and we are going to do that now. Thank you.
Thank you, Mynoo. Thank you all. Love to each and every one of you.